Hi, it's Karen, the Weekend Craftaholic. Thanks for joining me. I am using up this old Advent kit. This is back in 2020, can you believe? These little books are great. I keep these anyway, even when the collections are used up, because there's lots of great inspiration in there. And as you can see, I have not got an awful lot left of this collection. So if you saw my January double page scrapbook layout, you will know that my idea this year is to do a double page once a month and to use up those collections that have really just got a few little scraps left in them. Now, my challenge for this one is I've only actually got two 12 by 12 sheets left. And as you can see here, they do not go at all. But I'm going to go with it. Normally, I would not put these two papers together, but they're from the same collection. So I'm hoping I can make it work. I've got a few pictures that I've printed off. Wishing on reflection I'd have gone for maybe smaller ones. So rather than 6 by 4, maybe made them a little bit smaller, like 3 by 2. So they're not taking up as much of the page, but I'll remember that for next time. So this is a February recap for me. And I thought I'd do a bit of a voiceover on this one. Not done voiceovers for a while, but I thought I'd get back into it rather than just play the music, just so I can talk through my process a little bit more as I'm going along, as well as giving you a bit of an update on what's been going on. Because you may have noticed that I have been absent for a little while. I have been in hospital, everything is fine. I'm just getting my gallbladder removed, but I have been probably about 3 weeks without any crafting because of the lead up to it as well as the after effects. So here I am catching up now on all of my crafting for March. So first thing I'm doing here, in fact I'm thinking about doing a video on this, is what I do when I first get a new collection. Because this was part of the Advent kit and we were getting crafting goodies every single day, for this particular collection I didn't do it. But generally when I first get a collection, I go through all of these pieces, fussy cutting if it's needed, separating sentiments as you can see here, picking out these cut apart sheets, going through. You can see I've got the die here, that was part of the advent calendar as well, just to die cut those little pieces as well. So really all of the kind of housekeeping stuff, because when I'm crafting I really don't want to be doing this. I just want to get straight into sticking things, gluing stuff down, using all my other supplies like my inks and glitters and glues and all that kind of stuff, not necessarily going through the collection itself. But I'm a bit of a catch up here, as you can see, because we did get them all at once. And my intention is to use as much of this as possible. Whatever doesn't get used, the scraps of paper will go in my scraps of paper bin. Embellishments will go with the rest of the embellishments, that kind of thing. But I'll no longer keep it separately as I do when it's a full collection. Now, this other little die that you've seen, I did think about using this. I'm going to put my journaling on the inside of it. I only thought about it actually when I saw it on my desk. I'd completely forgotten that I'd got this. It's a nice little die actually. It's just cut them into, I think it's 3 by 2 sizes, I want to say. So nice little way of keeping the journaling on the inside. And one of the things that I'm trying to do with this layout is there's obviously a lot of pink on the left and a lot of grey on the right, and I'm trying to incorporate it. So put more of the grey on the left, more of the pink on the right, just to try and make them feel a little bit more cohesive. This part of the kind of scrapbooking process is one of my favourites, where I'm just playing around with putting things where they may or may not end up being, just seeing how things look. Don't normally go off a sketch or a plan, but I will come back to that because Paige Taylor Havens has been doing Make It Mondays, where she's actually given some sketches, and I definitely want to try those. So you may see those later. But for the purposes of this, my process is just winging it usually. I don't have an idea in mind. Right now, ripping these pieces of paper at the bottom, that's just kind of a little bit of desperation as to how can I get a bit more colour on the opposite side of the pages. And if you're a scrapbooker, you know that ripping a bit of paper is the main go-to for any scrapbook page. You can see here, I'm trying to figure out whether I can make anything work in the centre, but I really didn't like that idea at all, so I've decided to stick with it at the bottom. And it does bring a little bit more of that colour into it, so by the time the layout is done, I do like the way it looks at the end of it, so I'm glad about that. Pity you can't see some of the little sentiments at the bottom. They actually worked out perfect, considering this was kind of like a baby girl collection. being able to use it in February has been fantastic. And I was looking for something that had that kind of pinky vibe anyway, with February being the Valentine month. I thought I'd bound to have something that's got flowers and butterflies and things that I could use up for this month. So I'm at the point now where I'm able to just put down and glue down the pieces that I know I want to stay where I've laid them. And then usually after I've done that is when I actually then have a look and see, well, what else is there I can add into it. So this is me doing a little bit of journaling now, just using a Sharpie for this so it doesn't fade away too much. These do go into an album actually behind a plastic pocket, so I try not to add too much dimension. I only generally go for the dimension on these when I know it's going to be in one of my picture frames or on my wall in my craft room, because otherwise it just gets squished. A little bit of dimension's fine, but not too much. Now this February you saw at the start of the video, you can buy this separately from Uniquely Creative as well, which I did. It's got every month of the year, and my plan is to use that every month this year. I completely forgot about it in January though, so I will need to go back and change the title for January so that it's the same kind of font. I do love consistency even in my scrapbook and creativity stuff like this. I just think it's when you look back on it, it just keeps it all together, blends it all together. So you can see I've found a few more of these little pieces that I can use. And this is actually, this was some packaging. It was just an old glassine bag, but you could use like the inside of a cereal. It's like the inside of a cereal box. Obviously, give it a good clean, but it's that kind of crinkly paper. And I really like the way that it gives you a little bit of a vellum effect underneath, and the way that it does rip gives you a bit of a whiter edge to it as well. So I thought I'd do that just to tie in with the ripped paper at the bottom. But really, that is the layout almost done once I've added these on, because I've got such big photographs, not much space for anything else. But I did want to include these photos. It was a big month in February. We did a bit of catching up. My son wasn't well for his 21st in January, so we were able to celebrate that in February, where we'd had bookings that were postponed, as well as coming back from England. We had a lot of catch up as well, so you can see that's kind of what was celebrated on this side. My husband and my son spending quite a bit of time together, catching up on a lot of stuff that we needed to do around the house or in work. But we did get time to enjoy it. I was able to go see a show with my daughter, the Anne Juliet show. It's coming to you. Definitely recommend it. Very different, not what I expected, but I did enjoy it all the same. And yeah, February came and went before I actually realised it, to be honest. So I am going to probably post a few videos that are way behind, like my calendar video that I did for February, sorry, for March, hasn't been uploaded yet, so that was all ready to be edited. The Paige Evans scrapbook layouts, I want to get those uploaded for you as well. So hopefully you'll see a bit more from me in the coming months, and then hopefully we can get back in the rhythm. If you saw my crafting plans for the year video in January, you'll see already it's been a bit of a fail. But you know what? Life happens, and you know, crafting really is secondary to a lot of that. But it's also quite cathartic for me and a way of recuperation. So I really enjoyed getting back in the craft room and having time just to you know, get a little bit more creative and get my scissors and my papers and my glues out to pass the time away and really enjoy looking back on some of these memories as well. So all of the details will be in the description box below as always. Other than that, if you've got any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I always respond to them. And failing that, I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Have a great crafting week.